Yeah. Uh-huh. We back. We back. Let's go. You know we got to start it off with something funky. One sign for my father. T-Mac, R.I.P. Love you, Pop. Miss you. Sorry I'm so late to the dream. Ow. It's how I connect first thing in the show, man. Yeah. Boom, boom. It always feels good. Man, it always feels good. Greetings and salutations. And welcome back to another episode of the Heavy Thought Podcast. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You could have been anywhere in the world, and you might be, but you listening here with me. I am your host, Mr. Heavy Mac. Heavy if you know me, Mac if you don't, or just heavy. Either way, it doesn't matter. And it feels good, man. It's another week. I'm going to tell you, this week was different for a lot of reasons on what I can't say, because there's certain things going on in life. I can't talk about it, but this week was different for me. It brought a lot of light to things that I thought were safe. And it turns out that there's no such thing as safety in regards to like a career field or a relationship or a partnership. Like, in my opinion, based on this past week, I got a real glimpse at the wall that people will put you in to keep you away from things or to put around you to protect you from things. And this week, I saw two different walls. In my professional world, I saw a wall that was built to keep me out. What I felt like it was a wall that literally was tailored for me to absorb whatever comes with it. And I got to tell you, for those who know me, and for those who know anything about me, they know that I take what my name is attached to very seriously. It's one of the reasons on why I personally believe I'm an amazing worker. Like, for real. I'm not tooting my own horn. I'm not trying to big myself up. I'm not, popping off the air horn. Yeah. No, seriously. I, for real, take my name being attached to anything that I do very serious, because I grew up raised by men. For those who have been listening for the past couple of weeks, you guys know that I previously lost my father a couple months ago, October 22nd, 2025. I lost my father. But in the 39 years that I had him, and the 39 years that I still have my grandfather, my father's father, he's still alive. I was raised that men carry themselves a certain way. I was raised to understand that men move in a certain way. And my grandfather always taught me, a man's word is everything. And my father always taught me to take pride in whatever you do and whatever you put your name on. So when you take those two lessons and you take those experiences that you have coming up and you watch people not only live, but embody the very thing that they try to instill in their seeds and in their children and in their grandchildren. It's a sense of pride for me that anything that I do, anything that I put my name on, anything that I'm a part of that has the capability of making it to a forefront of people that I can't hold to myself, I have to be proud of the work. It's one of the reasons on why I go in and out of podcasting, I go in and out of creating. I am by default, when it comes to my art, I'm a perfectionist. I love having things just right. The problem is there's no right time to do anything. I got a book that I've written at least 4 times. Full book is done. And people keep saying, oh my God, yo, you just got this gift for, talking and storytelling. You should write a book. And my response is, oh, I did. I've actually written a few. Oh, well, where can I go to get them? And then I got to say, oh, I'm putting I'm trying to tweak a few things. That ain't true. There's nothing for me to tweak. I honestly need to have a somebody that's really good at making sure that the punctuations and the proofreading and everything is, all in place, and then put my own money up to self-publish and then just get it out there. But I'm thinking, oh man, it's got to be perfect, because what if I put it out there and, there's a mistake or there's this, or what if nobody supports it? And so a lot of things that I come in and out of as far as my creativity, it has a lot to do with what I put my name on, and most of it, a good deal, is procrastination. Because trying to be a perfectionist and trying to make sure that people get what you're saying, or at least have an understanding and be open to a dialogue of what you're saying, means everything to me. That's why I call it the Heavy Thoughts Podcast. You don't have to agree with what I'm saying. You don't have to agree with what I think, but at least have a mindset of being open to have a conversation with somebody in regards to my viewpoint, because it may not be yours, or it may be yours, and you may have somebody that works or lives or is involved in your life in a close space that you want to have those conversations with. Because we as a people, we're losing touch with having conversations with people who voice things that differ for how we think and how we feel. And that's not right. But I'm not going to go too far into that. Anything that has my name attached to it, I take pride in. And I felt like even in some instances, you can cross all the T's and dot all the I's, and the powers that be can still make you feel like you're left out in the rain. And that was a hard realization for me this week. And at the same time, having conversations with people who know my character and they know my work ethic and they know my grind, I saw a individual, like one individual who really not only told me not to worry about it, but, was quick to make a move that could build up a wall to keep me protected from the dumb shit, and also afford me the ability of really trusting a process that I can be a part of. So it's always good to have people that understand you and that have the capability of not even just speaking life into people that you really rock with, that you really know for real. That goes a long way. So individual, you know who you are, man. I appreciate you. For real, for real. You my homie for life, my brother for life. I love you 10,000-fold. And that's as much as I'm going to go into it. But it kind of led into a lot of different thoughts and conversations. And most of it for this week, for the podcast, is just, hey, man the fuck up, bro. Just man up. If you did something that was fucked up, here's my problem. Here's my issue. A lot of people put it on a lot of people to take responsibility or accountability for things they didn't first take accountability for themselves. And that's a sucky way to be. It's a fucked up position way to be. It's terrible, largely in part because if somebody trusts you enough to have a process with you, enough to go through something with you, and you have the hierarchy, you have the knowledge, you have the experience, and when you see them moving incorrectly and you don't check it, then you're essentially leaving them out there for the world to devour them. So when they're getting hit and they're getting beat and they're getting knocked, the conversation can't be, I mean, you gotta know how to move better. But I did what you showed me. I did what you told me. I did everything I thought to the best of my ability. And for whatever reason, when shit hit the fan, that's when you tell me in that moment, like, hey, but you shouldn't have did that. Well, where was the thought process before? Where was the lead up to the conversation before? Where was the support? Because things don't change unless people get fed up with something or fed up with the system long enough, or somebody inside the system gets hurt or killed, or that pretty much it. Those are in my experience, in my lifetime, those are usually the instances I see the shit starts to shake. When I starts to see that tree starts to waver, oh, it's just moving now. Because somebody close to the system got affected. And now because, you can't have the people that's close to the machine getting fucked over. So let's change it so the people that's close to the machine are protected, and, everybody else that comes into it. Then, we'll deal with that later, but we got to look out for ourselves first. And I get it. I do. And unfortunately, I put too much faith in people being who I think they're going to be versus the reality of who they are. And that's my fault. It's my fault for attempting to see the better in people, attempting to want the better for people, because I never believe in wanting better for someone could come at the detriment of having better for myself. Because what kind of world would that be? To want better for people and helping them along their process and their progress. And by the way, even though you've wanted better for me, even though you've done everything for me, even though you've got me to this place, fuck you when I get here. All the shit that I didn't do, all the shit that I didn't check, all the boxes that I didn't X off, that's on you. You hold that L right here. And then they walk away from you thinking, I hope you make it through it. I'm good, but I hope you make it through it. And you sit there with this look of confusion, befuddlement, like, what the fuck? Well, what just happened? And then now other people got questions for you. And because of the kind of individual you are, it's easy to throw people under the bus. It's easy to illustrate or give thoughts of how you can share the blame or shade yourself from the guilt or the accusations or the frustrations. But that's not how I was raised. I was raised not enough, because by no means do I want anything that I go through to be associated with this street culture, no snitch shit. It's nothing like that. Because if you do some bullshit around me, I promise you, I promise you, I promise you, if you do some illegal shit around me, I'm telling. For real, for real. Ain't no joke about it. I'm not the best looking man in the world. Not even top 5%. Not even that. Not even top 20%. My own personal thing. I don't think I'm top 20% best looking dude in the world. But I do know that I'm too cute for prison. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I do know that I'm too cute to go to jail. I do know that I'm too paranoid to be fighting for my anal virginity. I don't want no parts of it. I don't. And because I don't, please, to the 15 or 12 or however many people listen to this podcast, if it takes off in the next 5-10 years and somebody hears us down the line, then maybe I have done something in my life where y'all could have said, oh, let's revert back to episode 20 on the Heavy Thoughts podcast where he said verbatim, if you do dumb shit around me, I'm telling, I'm not going to jail for nobody. Not me. That being said, in the instances where things shake and people have to be held accountable, if my hand is the primary hand that's a part of whatever level of fucktardery or misunderstanding, if it's the primary, cool. I got no problem taking it. I also am of the belief that things don't get to a certain place in the worlds that I'm a part of without checks and balances. And if something goes unchecked and throws things out of balance, it's easy to dump it all on one individual so everybody can come off scot-free. And I get that. I get why people do it. Nobody wants to hold the bag because, it was this and it's too easy to own up for things that don't pan out the way that they're supposed to. But for whatever reason, that's just not what it is. I'm not used to this world where people, and by people, I'm primarily speaking of men in general. I'm not used to this world where men take such a level of comfort playing the back seat to accountability. Some time ago, I stopped talking to women about relationships. You know why? Because I don't believe as a man I can illustrate to a woman how to have a successful relationship, how to find somebody that is to her liking or someone that is to her taste, or how she can have the longevity that her heart's desires. You know why I stopped doing that shit? Because I can only tell you how to get somebody like me. And even though I have a twin, I'm the only person I know that's like me. So trying to illustrate and convey a point to tell you on dating and things of that nature, I'm literally giving you a blueprint of how to get me. Now, depending on whatever dynamic we were, if it's a woman from my past, before I got into the serious relationship, they had all the opportunities to have somebody like me. But, back in the day, I don't know what it is. They like the image of the bad boy. So they want like the Tupac outside, but the Barack Obama mentally, with the swag of, I don't know who people find swaggy, but anyway, whatever it was, I wasn't cutting the mustard. I wasn't the guy. It wasn't me. And that's fine. And now, if my friends are in their 40s, like, oh man, where the good dudes at? And, how do you find this? I'm trying to get in this place and space of marriage and all this other shit. And I'm like, I can tell you where I go. And I'm not telling you that so you can try to get with me. I'm telling you that because I don't go where niggas go. I don't go, and by niggas, I don't mean black people. I mean foolishness. Shit that's going to be fucked up. I don't go no place where somebody I had training with, he reached out to me. He was giving me, showing me documentation of like all the stuff that we can do as it relates to like, where we can go and what we can have when we get there. And I'm like, oh, that's crazy. Laughing at it. He was like, why you laughing, bro? I'm trying to get you up on information. I said, bro, I don't go places in my own city that I need a gun. Why would I give a fuck about what paperwork I would need to carry the motherfucker to all 50 states? Like, I'm just not that vested. If I have to go places where I need a firearm to go in my free time, I just don't want to go. I understand that people can get active anywhere. Dollar General, church, grocery store, schools. I understand that. It's not lost on me. At some point, I like to, and this may be a fault of mine, and this could be to my detriment in the future. I like to pretend that I can live in a world, I can live in a country, I can live in a state, I can live in a space where I can just exist and not be the target of somebody's frustration or somebody's rage or somebody's idea of making them not be seen or taking their jobs or whatever goofy motherfuckers be on. I like to pretend to do that in my free time. So when I say, hey, these are the places that I go, these are the places that I go because I don't go where bullshit goes. And if I'm ever someplace where bullshit is, I leave immediately. There's a reason why I don't keep open tabs at bars anymore. Like, let me get my 2 drinks, close me out. I have a CDL, so I don't drink more than 2 drinks anytime I'm out. Because I know if I ever got a boogie, you get pulled over, CDL drivers who know, we're held to a higher standard. So if the alcohol legal limit is like a 0.50 or whatever have you, then CDL driver, you gotta be a 0.20. Like you can't be with the normals because you don't drive normal vehicles. So I'll be like, yo, let me get my 2 drinks. I'm gonna be over here. Be over here sitting the fuck down. That's where I'm gonna be at. And I sip on my 2 drinks, I have my cigar, and I watch and I vibe and I listen. And that's my world. If ever a motherfucker comes into that world while I'm there and starts to doing the buffoonery and fucktardery and things of that nature, all right, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm out. I can hit an exit, beat in my car in 35 seconds, and I'm in the wind. I'm gone. And not only am I in the wind, I ain't coming back to whatever bullshit that was, because people of a certain age also, in my opinion, like to pretend that they live in a world, in a country, in a state, in a city, in a space where they can just exist and put down whatever problems that ails them at the door. They can leave it at home. They can leave it at work. They can leave it anywhere. They just want to be where they're at. They want to exist where they're at. And that be good enough. So when these young ladies ask, where do you go? What do you do? What could you find? I'm telling you the spaces that I go to because that's what works for me. And I'm not looking for them to try to find me in them spaces because they just, this is where I go. Here's how old I am. This is the space that I'm in. That's why I'm at. That's why I'm at where I'm at. And I saw how that attention, to bring it around, bring it back full circle, I saw how that attention brought not eyes to who they were looking for, but eyes of who they were asking of. They were asking advice from. They were asking advice from me. So eyes brought it to me. Oh, so I want somebody like you. Ain't nobody like me. And then people create that level of delusion, thinking, "Oh, he's so funny, he's so sweet, he likes me, he gets me time." No, no, just having the conversation, trying to enjoy my alone time or whatever space that I'm in. So I stopped giving advice. I stopped giving advice because I can't. I don't live in the world or in the mindset that they do. But the men, the goddamn so-called men that's out here, man, I never thought. I never thought I would lean to the idea of the bitch assness that I see from a lot of these motherfuckers, man. And I want to say, like, it's not just the younger guys. No, it's the older dudes. But it dawns on you, fucking almost 40 years old. So technically, I'm middle aged because the average lifespan for an American man is about 73 to 75 years old. And that's a white man. Black man, 69, 72. So technically, I'm over halfway done with life, depending on whatever statistics you want to utilize. Because black men in America, it can be a poke sandwich or it can be the police. One of them can take you out. It's a matter of time. But the bitch assness that these motherfuckers have, and I'm seeing guys my age, 10 years older, acting like they want to be the young boys, or they call them YNs. I'm not going to say what YN is because I think that's the dumbest shit ever, but to each his own. And I see how they move off of emotion, where I was raised by men that move off of reaction. You know what I'm saying? They move off of response. They want an immediate, this happened, we got to go. That's not how a man processes things. My grandfather and father taught me, you always need to be ready for anything. Think about every situation and every scenario that you could ever face depending on where you are in your life. And in doing that, if that situation should ever present itself, you be ready because you did the mental reps to know how to handle it. So I found myself unmoved by a lot of things. A lot of things that happen, a lot of things that I see, a lot of things that I've done, a lot of things that I've dealt with, because I put in the mental work, the mental repetitions to say, all right, if this happens, this is how I want to respond. Don't believe me? I remember a time. It was my senior year of college, my last semester. Actually, my last 5 weeks. My college girlfriend and I broke up. For something stupid. And at this time, I thought that, we break up. We'll be back together by tomorrow. Ain't no big deal. And tomorrow came and went. I was like, oh, she trying to be serious. Okay, well, shit, I know Shorty around the corner. You know what I'm saying? She been giving me the eye. I'm going to go give her some of this prime grade A college football dick, long stroke, go crazy. And I did. Man, that was my first taste of understanding that trying to connect with somebody physically while you're still emotionally tied to somebody else, it don't move like that. I didn't know how to verbalize it at that time, but I just know that whatever I did didn't make me feel better. I mean, the nut was amazing. Shorty was fire too. Shout out to her. But nah, it never moved the needle. And after enough time had passed, like a couple days, I was like, oh, you serious? You for real done? Okay, I mean, shit, that's what it is, and that's what it is. Trying to play hard. And fast forward to the weekend, I usually would go home to Charleston, but I ended up just staying in Columbia, hanging out, And I got a phone call. There was a situation that happened. Won't go into details because it's not my story to tell. I found myself in Charleston, went to go see her, and we ended up talking. And, she was still on that we still need time from each other type shit. And I was like, but we'll be back in the saddle. I'm about to graduate. I'll be back home full time. Yeah, we're going to be lit. So one day, even though we had broken up, I don't know if she remembered, I still had a key to her place. So one day, my homie K-Rock, she got me some Wale tickets. So I went to see Wale at the Music Farm in Charleston. And something wasn't, like I had a knot in my stomach. Real pain. Like something wasn't right. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, my family good, School wrapping up in like 4 weeks. I don't know what the fuck this feeling is. Huh. Now, I had to pass my college girlfriend's house to get home to where I live. So I'm driving through. And I said, I'll just swing by, make sure she's good. Maybe sneak in a little session or whatever. So I go. Now, she slept with the TV on when she was home alone. She slept with the TV off when somebody was in bed. So I get there. I see the TV is off. Wow. I know she's home. I know she's here. So I creep up the stairs. I put my ear to the door and I hear laughing. And then I hear, she in there with somebody. They ain't in the living room because there's no light on in the living room. Then I hear music playing. I said, oh, shit. She in there with a motherfucking nigga. Oh, God damn. Yo, I'm hot. I'm frustrated. I'm upset. But I did the mental reps because I did this. I'm like, yo, if I catch her with another dude, I'm in college. I can't lose it all because I'm emotional. I said, but nah, she wouldn't do this to me. It wouldn't be her. She's the good girl. Fast forward to 10 minutes go by and I'm pacing. I'm looking outside. Now, I've been to her place for over a year. That's when she moved into her own place, got her own space. And I knew every car that was in the parking lot that would park in her area. And I saw this one car that just didn't quite fit. So I was like, all right. So I go back upstairs, creep upstairs to her apartment door, put my ear, hear the music playing louder. I think I hear like a slight moan. I said, oh, no, nigga. I take my key. I always used to tell her, keep the top lock on, the chain. So, motherfucker get through the goddamn, like they pick the lock, they still got to go through the chain. You can hear the chain, call the police, get yourself a weapon, prepare yourself, whatever. So I open the door, creep in, you know what I'm saying? And I'm hearing moaning and I peek in the room. I see my shorty, my lady, my flower. I see her getting smashed out by another dude. Big silhouette, big back motherfucker. I said, whew. Took a deep breath. Walked back out the house. Closed the door. Locked it. Walked downstairs. Started pacing. And I looked at the key. And I looked at the door. And in that moment, I was like, I'm finna graduate college. I got a job waiting for me. My family's gonna be there. I already got my cap and gown. All I gotta do is go to school and turn in my final papers. And that's gonna be it. I took the key off my key ring and I threw it as hard as I could in the woods so I wouldn't be tempted to go back up there. Then I called her. Then the music stopped playing. I guess it was using her phone for the music. Didn't answer. I called her again. Hello? Who the fuck is up there with you? Oh my God, like you so jealous. Oh my God. You just so jealous. All right, so ain't no nigga up there with you right now. Oh my God, no. So if I fuck up this car right now, shouldn't nobody upstairs be upset? Is that right? Dead silence. You can do what you got to do. I said, you lying, bitch. Oh my God. I'm outside screaming, yelling, in real pain. Jump in my car and take off. I go back to the house. I get everything she got me. Got all her gifts. I got all of this shit. I pull back up to the spot. Threw on the brakes. Now this is again, this was me in college. Now since college, I've been in law enforcement, policing. I know how bad this situation could have been. So when you see a big black motherfucker like me pull up on the scene speeding and stop, I get why the cops who was out at the house that night reacted the way that they did. I completely understand it. So I pulled up, screeching. 2 cops was upstairs. One of them runs downstairs. I jump out of my car. Bunch of shit in my hand. He said, hey. I said, yo, officer, we good? I'm just giving her this shit back, bro. We good. I'm done with this bitch. He was like, hey, buddy, calm down. Just calm down. I said, officer, I'm calm. And I see the dude peeking outside the house from behind the door like, ooh, I hope he don't say it. I said, yo, you can have her, Duke. You can have her, you know what I mean? Fuck that bitch. I'm out of here. And the officer said, yo, just, you leaving? Just don't come back here. I said, I ain't coming back here. I'm good. Drove off. And I went home. And that night, I paced back and forth. I paced back and forth in my living room, in the den, family room. And my father heard the pain in my voice. And he just sat with me on the couch. He just sat and watched me. And I'm sitting there talking through my head. I didn't curse in front of my father like that. I was like, I don't believe that. I don't believe this shit. She did that shit to me. I bring this motherfucker around my family. My family knows her and this and that. She gonna have motherfucker in the house. I put all the fucking furniture in the house. I built the beds. I did this. I did that. And my father just sitting there like, I know, son. Hey, I know, son. I hear you. Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, it's tough. 42 minutes. I paced back and forth, going through it, playing it in my head. I saw my mother, peek out the bedroom. And saw she was on the phone. She peeked back in the bedroom. And my father just looked at me. He said, you all right? I said, I'm going to be fine. He said, yeah, son, you're going to be fine. But right now, are you all right? And I was like, I mean, I'm good, I just, I don't even care. He's like, you do. You do. And I wish I can take this pain for you. I wish I can take it for you, but I can't. I can't. He says, just sit down. I said, no, I probably said, son, sit down. So I sat down next to him, and he just put his arms around me. And I just folded, like, oh, my God. I folded in my father's arms. Big-ass college football player, knocking motherfuckers' teeth out, breaking sternums, cracking tailbones, sobbing like a baby in his father's arms because his ex-girlfriend moved on, and within like a matter of a week of the breakup. And I'm just sitting there like, she did this shit to me? I spent the next couple days in my bed. Didn't really eat, couldn't really think. And then, my father said, hey, you got to go back to school tomorrow. You okay? I said, I'll be fine. I'll be fine to go back. Because you remember I had, the young lady that was giving me that time and attention at the school. So I thought, I'll just bury myself in pussy until graduation. I get this job that I got lined up. Then we off to bigger and better things. And it didn't happen like that. I did graduate. Did try to bury myself in pussy, but it wasn't enough pussy for me to bury myself into, because I had to deal with whatever that shit was. I had to sit with it. I had to really sit with it. I had to think about all the shit that went through, all the shit that we went through, and all the bullshit that I did that she never found out about, that she never knew about. And at some point I was like, maybe this is my karma. I had to sit through it all. Sit through a phone number that I had memorized for years. And I couldn't forget until one day I realized I just didn't remember it anymore. And one day I drove by her house because I had to pass her house to go home. And I forgot that I passed it. My heart didn't skip a beat anymore. About 7-8 months, I went through the process. And I found myself being better on the other side of it. Now, what was the point of that story? What was the point of me telling you that? Remember back in the beginning when I said, man the fuck up? Man the fuck up. Being raised by men teaches you how to handle certain things. If I was raised in a way where I didn't have the mental wherewithal to take accountability or did the mental exercises to where if shit did break that way and I could have risked it all. This was fucking 2010. I'd be in I'd be 15 years in, 16 years in, until probably what would have been a 20, 25-year sentence had shit would have gone extra left. Or 16 years into a life sentence of never coming home. As time went on, I saw them two out several times. And even in seeing them out, her and I had a conversation after the fact of how we got there. And all I did was say, you know what? I hope you're happy. Because if you are, you deserve it. That's all I could ever want for you. I want you to be happy. That let me know that I had dealt with it and there was seriously no emotional attachment. There's no harboring ill wills or ill feelings or whatever have you. I seriously was like, yo, do your thing. I wish you all the best. And last I heard, those two did get married. I think they got like 2 kids. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it's 2 kids. I think she got a boy and a girl. Yeah. And they made this shit work. Happy for them. 1,000% happy for them. That just, I'm so proud of my upbringing to really be the type of person that could just take accountability for self. Didn't blame anybody else. Didn't blame her for the breakup. Didn't blame her for moving on. Frustrated about it? Abso-fucking-lutely. Mad about it? Abso-fucking-lutely. Wanted to put people's head through fucking walls? Abso-fucking-lutely. But in the end, I just sat with it. I just sat with the shit that somewhere down the line I created. Because I wasn't perfect. I wasn't the stellar boyfriend. I had done more dirt and more bullshit than that young lady could imagine. So if a broken heart is my consolation prize for all the bullshit I put her through, known and unknown. All right. And that's the space that I come from. That's the time that I come from. I come from a time where you sit with it. You deal with it. You don't blame other people. You don't blame the homegirl that didn't tell you about the extracurricular relationship. No. You don't blame the homeboy that knew it was some bullshit afoot, but he was like, yeah, I mean, I knew her first, and no. You take ownership and accountability on what you did to contribute to whatever fuckery that occurred. And where everybody else say, hey, the chips fall where they made with them. That ain't got shit to do with you. And that's how I felt about it. That's how I dealt with it. That's how I got through it. And somewhere down the line of my life and my life experiences, I'm watching the kind of men I grew up around and I grew up respecting and looking up to and idolizing. I'm watching a lot of different versions of them fall by the wayside. I'm watching a lot of them in competition with women to be comfortable about the bullshit that has nothing to do with nothing. I've never seen so many fucking men adamant on trying to relay information as it pertains to how women should move with what they perceive themselves to be as a high value man. I'm over 6 feet tall, and I have a couple 100,000 I make a year, and I have a nice hairline and 6-pack abs, and I'm the creme de la creme, the cream of the crop. You should be on your feet groveling for a man like me. What the fuck did you just say? How do we get to a place where men how do we get to a place where men tell women that they should be groveling at their feet? How do we get to this space where men are telling women, yo, I am the reason why you are here. I'm the reason why you need to appreciate the moment, because without me being here, it's just a waste of time for you. I'm the reason why you should be putting forth your best foot forward to keep me entertained, to keep me engaged, because, nigga, are you serious? Are you fucking serious? I had a conversation with somebody recently. I said, I don't understand how men can be lonely. I don't get it. If you're attacking your purpose on purpose and with purpose, then you don't have time to be lonely. The only time you would have to be lonely is if the things that matter more, like time with your family, time with your kids, if you miss out on those moments trying to do better than your best, that can make you lonely, because you'll look up and you'll realize you missed the last 15, 20 years and your kids don't recognize you. Yeah, you did it for them. They got the best life. They got everything that they could want and need, but they didn't have you. That's the lonely feeling. As long as you incorporate your family or you incorporate your values of what you can give or present to the world that makes it better than the way you found it, you don't be alone. Instead, you got men out here trying to bully women on picking them. because they check some boxes on some shit that don't fucking matter. I'm sorry. I'm country raised. Country cornbread fed, thick back, gorilla looking motherfucker. That's me. All day, twice on Sunday. That's me. And I wasn't raised to idolize or glorify paychecks because, as my grandfather told me, money come and go. It's families forever. Before money, it was just a bartering system. I'll give you this if you can give me some of that. You can give me some food for this. You give me some tomatoes. I got you on some corn. I got this cow over here we can cut up if you can get me some of them. If you can skin it and then make the clothes and keep us warm it was bartering system. You're putting a lot of value in an agreement that can break anytime. The American dollar ain't what it used to be. The pound, much stronger. So you measure yourself by an agreement that everybody has that it is that thing. We agree that $1 is $1 and it can buy shit that costs $1. That's the agreement. But if history has taught us anything, motherfuckers can agree all they want to. If somebody want what the fuck you got and they want it bad enough, the money you think you have ain't gonna protect you from the desire to get what you got. So when I say man the fuck up, bro, your value ain't in your pockets. It's in what you can provide that's outside of the nature of the monetary shit. Can you fix things? Huh? Can you replace things? Can you build things? I used to watch Walking Dead a long time, and I thought, like, man, if it ever got that bad, just turn me into a goddamn zombie because, man, I can't outside. If there's no law and order, I mean, all I know is policing, and I know sales, and I know, creating and marketing. I know that. But you ask me to go in the woods and live off the land and start a fire from nothing without a lighter and, oh, yeah, try to make this water clean enough so, you can drink it. What? Why don't you take a pot and boil it? And what do you do with the bullshit at the bottom of the pot? And how long do you keep the pot on the stove? You know everything is good. You don't want all the water. I have no idea. I was like, yo, bite me. Arr, get me out of here. I ain't built for that. And that was an eye-opening moment that says, yo, if shit goes south, you got to know something. So learning little tips and tricks on, here's how you fix the plumbing with the toilet shit. Here's how you, I can take the toilet. This is how you take a toilet out. Oh, it's not that bad. So if sometime in the near future my child throws a toy in the toilet and I need to unclog the motherfucker, this is how you. Oh, okay. How you unclog a. Oh, okay. So what is this? So that's what the box is. The electric box. That's where it is. Okay. So what if I need to turn off the water to the? Oh, it's outside. I learned a lot of basic shit. Basic things. Because by the time I knew the importance of what it means to really utilize your hands and man the fuck up, I was already at my father's house. Father would sit outside. He was a carpenter. He was a plumber. He was an electrician. He was an educator. He was a lot of shit. Jack of all trades, master of fatherhood and parenting. But, I couldn't be bothered with learning that because I was chasing what I thought was the idea of, what would get me the best girls and all that other shit. And in the end, I grow to miss and appreciate all the lessons that was given to me and the ones that I chose to skip out on because I was too busy or didn't have the time or whatever have you. I now in life have to go back and revisit those. So what was he saying when you had to, except I can't call the man that was supposed to teach me that. I now have to learn from somebody else. I have to learn from another man that doesn't want to see me be as prosperous, maybe. Steve Harvey said, your father is the only man in life that wants to see you do better than him. And knowing that, mine is gone. There's a lot of making up that I have to do for the lessons I chose to miss. But one thing I never skipped on is the lessons of accountability. Son, if you do it, you did it. Own it. I think that's one of the biggest parts. This world is starting to look real unfamiliar to me. I hate talking about politics because in the grand scheme of things, it's just people put in positions to make decisions for a lot of people, but they make decisions to self-serve themselves first. Democrat and Republican. Both of them make decisions to serve themselves first, and then everybody else. It's like, oh, I'm gonna make sure that I'm gonna make sure that I'm super straight. And then if it fucks up everybody else later, I mean, well, at least I'm good. That's why I don't really like. Also, I don't really like talking about this shit because I think it's all a fucking scam. I think it's all stupid. I think it's all dumb. It's necessary. But when you have motherfuckers that don't stand the fuck up and man the fuck up, you can have a generation or a country miss out on a lot of things that can make us better because people want to bend the knee to bullshit. We live in a fucking time where people embrace lies. They try to code switch for lies. Oh, you know, this is what this could mean, and this could mean that, and you know, it could be this and it could be that. Nah, motherfucker, nah. Because if the shoe was on the other motherfucking foot, y'all would be calling the shit out too. When I say call shit what it is, I mean when they start talking about was it the Epstein file shit? Yeah, talking about that. Oh, well, you know, Donald Trump can be in that motherfucker. Well, what if Barack Obama was in it? Then lock his weird ass up too. It's not favorites with me. If you do dumb shit and your shit is brought to light and it's fucking illegal, I don't give a fuck who on the motherfucker. Take them all down. Well, that could break the infrastructure of the government, and we swirl into chaos, and who would lead and who would do yo. Motherfucking billionaires ain't gonna let America break. You kidding me? They're not gonna run the risk of their stocks and bonds crashing because, you know, you can't just have $1 billion liquid. No, you got to have it in stocks and bonds and trades and, you know, 401k. You got to have it in places where you can borrow against it because you can't, you know, tax debt. So you can say, hey, yo, bank, here's a couple shares of this. Let me get about 200 million of them things. Oh, okay. Think they going to let that shit happen in America? No. But that's what it means to stand the fuck up. To man the fuck up. I don't know how we got to this place. And unless motherfuckers start getting back to a space where they can own up to the shit that they do, own up to the shit that they say, own up to the shit that they do or don't teach, they do or don't provide. Just live in your honesty. Live in your authenticity. If we don't get back there or something close to it, everybody suffers. I don't give a fuck how big your bubble is. It's not bigger than the bubble that is the world that everyone lives on. You can have your house in Bora Bora. You can have your yacht in the Mediterranean Sea. You can have your foxhole in the bottom of the ground waiting for the goddamn annihilation of Earth. But if it gets bad enough, if it gets dark enough, it won't matter who has the most money, who has the most cars, who has the most clothes, who had the most women, who had the most this. If they push the buttons, everything goes up. Because people wasn't taught. Men forgot how to regulate their fucking emotions and stand up for the shit that they said. Right, wrong, or indifferent. Man the fuck up. Own what the fuck you said. Respectfully. Oh, man. Okay. I didn't mean to talk that long. Talk the whole fucking hour. I'm telling you, it's been a long week for me. Long goddamn week. But, we rocking and we rolling. Short touch on sports. Carolina Panthers lost. A little hurt. Happy that, they brought Cam Newton out. Hit that big old drum, that keep pounding drum. Close game, I think we should have won. We should have pulled it out, but I think our building is finally coming together. We're a couple pieces away from being real NFC contenders for the long haul. I ain't just talking about the South. I'm talking about NFC contenders, period. In other sports news, Mike Tomlin of the Pittsburgh Steelers, I believe he had 19 seasons, 19 winning seasons, one Super Bowl win, and he stepped down from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Jim Harbaugh or John Harbaugh, one of them Harbaugh motherfuckers from Baltimore Ravens, he got fired. And New York Giants is doing a fucking bidding war and getting his shit. I can only imagine the crazy amount of money motherfuckers is going to put up to try to get Mike Tomlin. Because, the standard is the standard. And that's my short run into sports. I mean, my team lost. My fucking team lost. Ain't shit else to say about it. I ain't got it. I ain't got it. Motherfucker, I ain't got it. Not today. No. Not today. So we'll see. As you know, I record my episodes on Friday night. We'll see what this Sunday has and what teams are left because we're getting close to Super Bowl time, baby. And I can't wait. Ooh, I can't wait. All right, and for today's Cigar of the Week. Now, this Cigar of the Week came from my cigar plug. Shout out to DG. Love you, boy. You really are the GOAT. I decided to have a taste of the Partagras. Partagras cigar are known for their Cuban roots and rich and robust profiles. Generally offered a bold flavor, a little pepper, a little earth, a little cedar, a little coffee, a little dark chocolate. Yummers. Absolute yummers. Often with a powerful full body strength and excellent construction. Though, some lines lead to a smoother, like a, different kind of taste, different kind of level of intensity with the spice and the richness. But it makes it a classic for a classic smoker's experience that's seeking that strong classic flavor with a touch of complexity. So a Partagras cigar is the cigar of the motherfucking week, and I will be lighting up. I know I told y'all would have me on camera this week. Some shit that happened. According to one of my supporters, I'm just going to order some glasses with a nose so I can hide my face. Be in disguise and be incognito. That way y'all can actually see me enjoying the goddamn cigars in this bitch. But that is my cigar of the week, Yummers. And of course, I like to shine a light on the lesser known historical African Americans that, people otherwise didn't know about or don't have a clue about. But since Monday coming is Martin Luther King Day, for the time being, we'll see what the Orange Man has to say about it in the coming years, which is the federal holiday. For those who don't know, Martin Luther King was a Baptist minister and the most influential leader of America's civil rights movement. Born in 1929 in Atlanta, he rose to national prominence in the Montgomery bus boycott and went on to lead the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, using nonviolent protests to challenge segregation and racial injustices. Most known for his letter to Birmingham jail, and he delivered the I Have a Dream speech during the 1963 March on Washington, calling for equality and the end of discrimination. Listen, you know about Martin Luther King. I'm allowed to have the one white friend that I openly care about because of his dedication, love, and sacrifice that ultimately, led to a lot of people opening up their eyes to realizing that we're all people. The color of your skin shouldn't determine how you treat people. You should judge people on the content of their character, not the color of their skin. So for this week's appreciation, dedication to African American history and American history is Dr. Martin Luther King. So hopefully, if you have the day off, enjoy. If not, go work. Go to work, do some shit. But Martin Luther King, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Dr. Martin Luther King, for your courage, your sacrifice, and hopefully we will continue to try to embody the vision of change that you gave your life for. Don't have a joke of the week. I do not have one because, again, it's been a long fucking week. Been a long week. So I don't have a joke of the week, but I promise to have one next week because due to the new cigars that DG blessed me with and the air purifier in the house, because it's like 13 degrees outside right now, and I'm not going to be smoking out there. I should be back in full swing, everything up and running on all cylinders by this time next week with the dad jokes, the history, and the smoke, and maybe have the camera popping, and we're just going to get back to regularly scheduled programs. Sorry if it got emotional for me today. It's been a long week, and at some point in the future, I may talk about it. I may go into a deep dive if I land certain contracts and land with certain spaces. I would have more freedom to divulge and go into deeper detail with it. Until then, I'm just going to say this. Be mindful of killing yourself for a job that's dying to replace you the moment you're gone. That's my word of the week. Be mindful of killing yourself for a job that's dying to replace you the moment that you're gone. And that could be attributed towards jobs, friends, relationships, marriages, whatever. Do not kill yourself for anything that's dying to replace you the moment you are gone from it. Understand your worth, understand your value, know how you are appreciated, know how you are seen, know how you are used, and take all of those things and apply it and put it in places and spaces where people will literally have your back and go to bat for you. Yeah, I like that. A round of applause for me. That was some good. That was off the fly. That was off the cuff. Yeah, that was off the cuff. So with that being said, again, thank you again for you guys joining me for another week episode of the Heavy Thoughts Podcast. It is all love, peace, and hair grease. And remember, with heavy thoughts, enlightened minds. Love you guys, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.
It's heavy, baby.